everyone. Zach with AI Automation Elite. Today we're going to talk about Zep AI agent memory and setting that up with your N8N. Have you ever found yourself saying, my chatbot is just not quite making the connections I would like? This is where Zep AI rules the world. Graph databases make connections to data that we would not normally pair, or even more so, that we would not normally program. And so Zep AI takes our data and begins to make these pairings, these connections for us in real time, which allows you to build a more realistic communication between user and chatbot. The structure is a graph, which provides a node and an edge and how they connect together. And if we look at this one, for instance, this is one of their playground ticket purchases. We can see just a short step between the center, the person, where they went, what city, what person has went to which concerts, whether it's Arctic Monkeys or Taylor Swift. Right? We can see email addresses, we can see locations, and what this allows us to do is to build a AI memory much more similar to our own. We remember things based on how it connects to other things, and that's their feature. Let's take 2 minutes, let's get you set up, and you will be impressed. First thing we need to do is go to N8N, wherever your instance is, and this is a new one, as you can see, and we're going to add a step. We're just going to add an agent, AI agent. We'll move this over here so it's in the center. Now, we do need to have a chat model. You can choose many. The latest update has included AI Grok, so that's X Grok, really an outstanding model. But I'm just going to go with OpenAI, and I'm going to leave that at 4.1 mini. That's good. The next thing we need to do is connect memory. So when we hit the plus sign here under memory, we go to Zep. And although I have a couple of accounts here, I'm going to create a credential to show you how simple it is. So I'm going to click here. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to be using cloud. So I'm going to activate this. And now we need to get the API key. We can come right over here and click for the docs. And in the docs, come down just a little bit to where it says Zep server. From here, you're going to need to create an account. So you'll just do sign up. I would highly recommend you watch this 1 minute video. One of the most powerful things about Zep is it's able to self-deprecate out-of-date knowledge. So say, for instance, a particular link on your web page has been removed and somebody's asking about it. It will know that it's been removed. It will also know what the new information is. So this way, the knowledge base is continually evolving. Right? And it will use all of your uploads, all of the communication to continually get better. All right, I'm going to come to log in. And as you can see, I have a setting here, but I'm going to go to the projects, create a new project. I'm just going to name this, I will just call this, that's fine. And now I'm going to also name my key. I like to name my project and my API key the same, so it's easy to make the connection between accounts when you're in N8N. Let's create that. I'm going to copy this. As a friendly reminder, you should never expose your API key. That is the key to your API's memory, and so you always want to keep that private. I will be deleting this one when I'm done. If we go back to N8N, and I go right here to the API key, and I paste and save. There we go, connection tested successfully. It is ready to go. Now if we come back over here, we can say open chat. And what I want to do is first give it some information to show you how the memory works. We'll just say, my name is Zach and I like pasta. So we now have connected to Zep, the AI model. Hi, Zach, pasta is awesome. And we are successfully writing to this. So if I give it something non-related, and if you've worked with memory of any kind, generally it's the same, it will remember it, right? But in this case, what it's doing is it's beginning to connect those pieces of information to other pieces that relate. So if I say, write me a email about a dinner invite and mention my favorite food. Okay? So we know my favorite food is pasta. And so once again, it's going to search. So if we look over here, the human Zach likes pasta. Pasta, the entity pasta, is a preference related to food. So it's beginning to build connections. Zach, pasta, food. And then, of course, it creates my email. Now, if I'm a month from now, I'm talking about give me recipes. Okay, so I'm going to say give me a recipe for my favorite food. Again, we come over here and we look at our database. All right, so we come down here. Oh, it's still working on it. That's the last one. Here we go. All right, the ingredients. So the AI absolutely Zach. So if we look up here now, the email about dinner. So now there's a dinner that connects the email as well as favorite food. I like pasta. Right? So it's beginning to connect all of these together. So my name is Zach. I like pasta. Pasta is awesome, right? We're looking at the history of all of these connections. When we go back, let's see which pasta. Classic garlic butter pasta. All right, that sounds great. Now, if we come back over here to our Zep interface and we come to users, so this is the user account. Now, normally you would want them to have some kind of clarifying data, who they are, email and name, right? Your chatbot is usually available to users in your app or something of the sort. But nonetheless, it's still going to connect them. And here's a session. So in this particular session, we can see here are the communications back and forth. Once it gets to a certain size, it'll begin to visually generate the node. We can do that in the playground. You'll connect the JSON, and if you notice over here, refresh content. Of course, this is if we're changing it, and you would put in this memory history, this JSON. Once you have this JSON is connected, you'll start to end up with a graph like this, and you'll see how things interact. You'll see how knowledge both grows and is deprecated. If you want your chatbot to have your personality, you will want to communicate with your chatbot so that it can begin to learn that. It is super powerful. I hope this helps. Good luck. Happy coding. And if you're interested in this kind of material, feel free to visit my school community where we not only apply AI and automation, but we look at how you can create a business around that, and that's available here at Learn. And you can see our how we're going. We also have practice meetings and other things. So we would love to have you. If you're interested, please stop by. Either way, build what allows you to grow your business, grow your finances, and reduce the amount of time you have to do the boring stuff. Take care. Happy coding. We'll see you soon.